It's your girl Astro by Lauren, aka your favorite mom in the club, the quintessential quadroon. Today is Monday, January 20th. A happy MLK birthday observance day to those who celebrate. Unhappy day to those who were observing the other thing that happened today in the United States. The only day we acknowledge is MLK Day, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. Now, I am not going to play with y'all today on this here podcast. Me, myself, personally, I am angry. I don't get fearful about the political climate, but I do get very angry. And so I do my best to avoid discussing politics with people, particularly mixed company. And by mixed company, I mean like mixed intelligence. Because things are so stratified here in the States at this point that, you're either with the people or you're not. You either see me, my family, my community as human beings, or you don't. So, as far as I'm concerned, there's really not a lot to discuss. But for you, my lovely listeners, I pray that this podcast finds you well, that you are keeping your heart and mind in peace, protected as best you can in these turbulent times. I will say that today is Sun conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Well, first of all, it's Aquarius season, so yes. But the mood was going to be heavy today, no matter how you slice it. And so it's important that, I know I keep saying it over and over again, but you have to guard your heart and mind and psyche, because you cannot allow this madness that's playing out right now on the world stage to rob you of your sanity, to rob you of your dignity, to rob you of your hope, to rob you of all of the things that the people who are playing in our faces on the world stage want to rob us of. So remember that your sense of self, your self-concept, your self-esteem is yours. No one can take that from you. And the way you see yourself is yours. No one can change that. And so it's important that we remain strong in the face of, I don't even want to say power, because it's perceived power. You have the power over yourself in your life. And you have the power to affect change in your community, in your household, in your habits. Wellness, just the wellness of you yourself individually, your own wellness is a form of resistance, amongst many other forms of resistance. And I recommend that we all do our best to stay well and to resist in every way, shape, and form that we possibly can. Because the reality being fed to us over the airwaves, over the internet, over the television, if y'all even watch that anymore, it is not what our reality has to be. It's important to, I'm not saying that you should live like on your own cloud or whatever, if and when the executive orders trickle down and effectively order you specifically on a personal level, then yes, do obey, keep yourself safe, don't martyr yourself, but in terms of like ideology and thought process and mindset and all of that, you have all the power to keep yours intact. And if you're having difficulty, don't be afraid to reach out for help or to talk to like-minded individuals, people that may be able to help lift you out of a dark place if you are, in fact, in one or on the way. So remember to love each other, support each other, but do not allow your mind to be colonized. Do not allow your heart to be captured by the enemy. All right, y'all, let's get it. So this week, it's a pretty quiet week in astrology, meaning not that the planets aren't planeting, just that whatever's kind of been going on is going to kind of continue to go on for better or for worse, but hopefully it's for the better. We still have Mercury in Capricorn, which means do what you say. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If you're in a situation where you need to boss up, by all means, do so, and do that with strong and clear, affirmative communication. Also, tap into your leadership qualities and leadership abilities, even if what you're leading is your very own life, because that's the strongest thing that you can do, is to take ownership and leadership of your life, the direction you're going, and the plans that you make to get there. So still a great time to make plans. It is only January 20th. It feels like it is January 2029. It's crazy. It's really, really been, I feel like time's been going slower, but now that it's Aquarius season, I will say time might start speeding up, but it's really not going to speed up completely until Mars gets out of retrograde, which isn't until, I think, mid to late February. Yeah, so speaking of Mars, it's still in Cancer, which means even though you want to make plans and get stuff done, it still might be difficult. There are logistical challenges, right? Again, if you live in a place where we're experiencing winter, then, snow and ice storm will kind of slow down your roll or reroute whatever you thought you were going to be doing. And it's kind of congruent with what's going on with Mars. So is it the weather or is it Mars? I don't know. It's kind of like both. They work together, That being said, don't get frustrated. Just keep on trying. Sometimes rejection is God's protection, as they sometimes say. And you may find out that the direction you're going, or the direction you thought you wanted, is not actually what's best for you. Or you might find yourself having to turn around and be disappointed in that moment, and then realizing that it was a blessing in disguise. It really is how you take and work with and negotiate through the energy. Now, Venus is still in Pisces, so it's still a good time to love on your loved ones. It's still a good time to tap into your sweeter side, your poetic side, your artistic side, and make sure that you have an outlet where your emotions can flow, your creativity can flow. You can't be serious all the time, all right? At the same time, if your emotions are always flowing and your creativity is always flowing, then be sure to take some time to rethink your structure and boundaries, and always make sure that you're kind of you're going with the flow, but more of a controlled flow. Okay, you don't want to just be lost in the sauce, so to speak. Always, if you're a person that struggles with boundaries, that struggles with structure, it's always a good time, but especially now, to renegotiate those boundaries, renegotiate that structure, try to figure out what's going to work best for you. Don't live a boneless life, Don't live a completely entirely too constricted life either. It's all about finding balance and flow. Another week, another people on the internet making disastrously misleading and incomplete and untrue statements about astrology and how it relates to dating. It's so difficult. Every time I hear someone online talking about astrology and just being so wrong, a little part of me dies inside. No, I'm just kidding. But every time I hear it, it's difficult. It's difficult to hear. But it's not my job, I'm not an astrology avenger or anything, it's not my job to make sure that people understand it, but it is my job to make sure that those of you who are listening in today understand astrology is merely a tool for us to understand each other, to understand different types of energy and different types of influences of that energy on ourselves and on the world. And it's really not there for you to use to make assumptions about people or to discriminate against folks or to just discard people because of their sun sign, which is, don't do it, y'all. I think I'm going to do this PSA every week until I spread the message all over the world. Okay. Speaking of dating, because this is my dating segment, right? We do have a nice little lovely aspect going on this Saturday. So if Saturday is date night for you, then you're in luck. We have Venus trine Mars, and Venus in Pisces and Mars in Cancer. So that means there's going to be a whole lot of unspoken, kind of sweet nothing vibes going on. Whatever that may or may not mean to you, it's definitely gonna be, it's a vibe. It's gonna be a good vibe on Saturday for communicating. And again, it doesn't always have to be romantic. It's just gonna be kind of like a fun moment. The moon is going to be in Sagittarius, so that's also a very playful sign, a super fun sign, super expensive. It's a good time to take a day trip, be it near or far. Take a little trip. Maybe do something to expand your knowledge or expand your mind. Anything esoteric, anything adventurous. Remember, like that risk-taking I was talking about last week? Though the week may feel heavy and grueling, we do have that lightness, that levity to look forward to at the end of this particular week. That's all for today. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and tell a friend and do all that good stuff. And what else? Booking information available in the description. And what else? I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will catch you on the flip side. I will catch you next time. And I guess that's all. Okay. Bye.